She has a very strong personality. She's very loving, like my best friend.
Yeah, her hair, her legs, the way she jumps. Great jumper.
What can I say? She was a bit gassy, but cute, so pretty. I just couldn't let go of her.
A defining moment for me in my life was the loss of my son, Cameron. He developed brain cancer at age 11 and lived with it 2 years. And so as a single father of an only child, that was sort of an identity shift for me, and that was 2008, to think about who am I now and what can I do in this world that can channel my grief into service. And he's my service dog. I have physical mobility disabilities and also some PTSD around the loss of my son. And so he and I have been joined together since he was a puppy. Oh, we've been to England, we've been to Ireland and Wales, France, Switzerland, Canada, and all over the US. The first time that he helped me, aside from just the companionship and having something warm and fuzzy to hold when you're not feeling happy, we were in the market, and the checkout clerk was checking out our groceries, and he was just 4 months old. He was sitting by me in line very patiently and very comfortably, and then all of a sudden he leaned all of his body weight into my leg. It was deliberate gesture of grounding, but I thought he was just bonding. But right after I noticed him doing that, I had a major panic attack. Like, I had to get out of there. I was sweating, my heart was racing, I was nauseous.
I know, buddy, I know. It's okay, baby boy. I know. The dog will never, ever turn their back on you. In the worst possible situation in your mind, in your life, somebody died, you come home, that dog will give you unconditional love. That cat will give you unconditional love. They won't ever, ever be prejudiced on you. The only way they will is if you don't give him treats or you don't take him out right now. It's so simple like that. Even humans can't be like that. Yes or no. You know, humans gotta go, why did you say no?
I sat outside on a bench and had a good cry and tried to figure out what the trigger was, because there was nothing around that seemed on the surface like, you know, it was gonna trigger me. And then I realized what it was. It was the rhythmic beeping of the groceries being scanned, which took me back to the hospital room, which I lived in for months with my son. And that feeling of isolation, that feeling of claustrophobia, all those feelings, the worry, the helplessness came back in that moment. And he sensed it before it manifested.
Sometimes when you're alone and you just like start thinking about things, and they're always with you, you know? Always have that comfort. And the bond is like, I mean, I only probably been with my boyfriend or whatever for like how many years. She's gonna be with me forever until she dies, you know? So I'd rather have the dog rather than the guy, because you have to accept me with all my flaws.
I love her more than most of my friends, to be honest with you. She's more consistent. She's been here through every relationship, every apartment, every place I've lived. I mean, I would rather sacrifice for her than a lot of people, as sad as that might seem.
For her, if any other animal were like threaten Kate, that animal's gonna die.
Yeah.
For sure.
We love Kate.
Yeah.
We do a lot for Kate.
You do a lot for Kate.
Jigu is the world's richest hen, Publisher Miles Blackwell and his wife Brioni left $50 million to charity and also left his beloved chicken Jagoo $15 million. By the time Rhea died, Blackie was the only cat left, and so he inherited the $13 million left to the cats by Rhea. Gunther III was left $80 million by his owner Carlotta Liebenstein, a German royal. When Gunther passed away, he generously left his fortune to his son Gunther IV. Gunther now owns property in the Bahamas, Italy, and also owns one of Madonna's previous homes, and now is supposedly the richest dog in the world, with a net worth of just under $400 million.
Probably where I would draw the line. She is just a cat. If I died, I would give her to somebody, probably my mom. Well, yeah, my mom. But I don't think I would leave anything for her. I wouldn't give anything of value to her because she doesn't care. I mean, it doesn't do anything for her. She's just a cat. At the end of the day, she just needs food and water and love.
The first couple of months, it was a bit of a struggle. I tried carrying her, and immediately she squirms. She didn't react well.
She'll hiss too.
Yeah, she'll bite.
Yeah,
it's just one of her boundaries.
Which I understand.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to be carried. Like,
Yeah.
that's... You can only pet her around her head. Really can't pet past, like, the top of her spine. Only pet her when she wants to be pet. Impossible to trim her nails.
Yeah.
Because
We
she'll
have to take her to the vet.
she'll fuck you up if you try to trim her nails.
There's a certain understanding. Dogs don't learn human language. It's up to us to learn their language. And I think that if we take the time to do that, then we have a much richer experience. He and I speak the same language now.
Scrappy got hit by a car 12 days ago. And so we had to cut off her leg because it was just dangling, all nerves. And now she's a strong baby, huh? In New York City, they're called, they're still part of the material thing. So a lot of people can have them, and a lot of people can get rid of them without being questioned about it. You're not like in California, when you get rid of an animal, you have to report to somebody. A lot of people have bodegas, restaurants, so they'll use cats to mice the place out. And when you think about New York City, you can't have pets, any animals, and food or restaurants. So a lot of these people do it like, indiscreetly, or they do it secretly. And when inspection time comes for restaurants and a lot of these bodegas, they'll dump the animals out. A lot of people in the parks think that, if somebody ties a dog and leave him away, just call 311 and the city pound will take care of all the problems. A lot of people understand a city pound is a kill shelter. They'll destroy a lot of animals when they're full. So it leaves like no kill shelters like us to like take up the slack, but a lot of us we don't really have a lot of space.
It's devastating. It's devastating, and I think that perhaps it's because a lot of people don't give enough weight to the consideration that it's a lifelong commitment.
The day that I adopted Kate, it was National Black Cat Day, and I researched more about National Black Cat Day, and that's how I learned that black cats are like the least adopted in shelters. And I guess the reason for that is just the dumb, stupid...
Superstition. A lot of them are made by humans, to fear things, A lot of times it's based on still witch hunt. A lot of that stuff is like based on people's religion. If you tell me that I don't believe in fixing my animals because it's not natural to God, then I'll come out to you and go, well, show me in the Bible where it says that the dogs and cats are my pets.
Well, I think people should, first of all, adopt, not shop. And they should try fostering pets. If you have no experience with, I grew up with lots of animals, so I know how it is. But if you have no experience, you should try fostering a pet first to see if it's actually going to fit with your lifestyle, especially in New York City, and most of the time it won't.
I think it was 2 years ago. I was on Facebook, and a friend of mine had shared a link to a kill shelter in Brooklyn, New York, on it because the dog that was being highlighted, because it was about to be killed, had my name, Henry Allen. I was like, who names their dog Henry Allen? So I looked into it, and this beautiful, beautiful dog was going to be killed in 24 hours. And I felt that I had to save this dog. There's a sign, there's something that, who names their dog in my name, Henry Allen? So I got online and I found a foster situation for the dog, and it was a foster failure, they call it, because she ended up adopting him full time. Every animal is a sentient being, just like we are. We share a lot of DNA. Think of it the same way you would think about adopting a child. It's for life.